And now we're going to hear from Dr. Meeks. So we'll take her that mic. And we were blessed to have Dr. Meeks with us last night. And she was the founder of the Absalom Jones Episcopal Center for Healing, for Racial Healing. And so she has a wonderful message, and I'm going to let her give her message to us today.
Good morning. Good morning. So I am so proud to be a part of this part of the Absalom Jones celebration, to see children being engaged, because we are missing the boat with what we're doing with our children. So I'm so proud, so thankful that you all are wise enough to take the time to do this. And I'm so proud of every single one of you who participated or thought about participating, because we need you to do that. We need you to be involved, young people, children, and to aggravate the older folks to let you be involved. I used to worry my daddy to death about wanting to do things. So I want to encourage you as children to be, like a mosquito that just keeps on bothering you, because it's so important for us to have what you have to say, to have what you think, to have your creativity, your imagination, your dreaming. And, some of the things you might think about, you might think they're so off the wall, you can't even tell anybody. Don't worry about it. Keep on dreaming. Keep on being off the wall. Think as big as you can think, because it is that imagination and the courage to be creative that will make things better. That has always been true. It's true now, and it will be true forever. But when we get older, we get scared, and we get to the point where we can't hear sometimes all of what we need to hear. So we need you to aggravate us. Can I ask you, young people, to be aggravating? Good. Be more every day. Every day. And then while you're being that way, make sure that you do all the things you're supposed to be doing, which means you study, you do your homework, you don't show up without being ready to be counted. I think it was during COVID that I was doing a virtual program with an international group of young Episcopal students from around the world. And there was a little boy in Atlanta who's probably going to be king of the world one of these days. He must have been 10. And he said to me, "Dr. Meeks, I just want to ask you, what makes you get up in the mornings? What helps you to keep getting up?" And I thought, oh my God, here's this profound question. So what am I going to say? Finally, it dawned on me to be clear and say the best answer I had. And it is you. It is you. You young people, you children, you people that we have not done a good job leaving the planet ready for you, that keep me getting up wanting to make the planet better. And we need your help. We need your help. So keep on being wonderful. And, I don't have any, sometimes I'm around older people who want to grumble about children. I don't grumble about children, because whatever grumble I have to take responsibility for, because children don't teach themselves, we do. So if for the older people in the room, for the folks that are older children, if you find yourself ready to grumble about children, before you do, ask yourself, what is it that you are about to say, and what does it have to do with grown folks? before you lay it at the door of a child. Because somewhere I learned that children learn what they are taught. And they bring more to the world than we imagine them having. You know, I have a 38-year-old son and a 43-year-old son, and they've been my greatest teachers since they were little people. And then the third teacher I'll tell you about, which causes me to have my extra legs here. The third teacher is rheumatoid arthritis. It's taught me to look at the world differently, to see the world more clearly, and to be more patient, to be kinder, to be more accepting, to be more generous, because I have to be that way with myself. And then I can project that to other people. So we desperately need us to be courageous, imaginative, generous, kind, and ready to be offering that to everybody and everything that is alive. Can you imagine a world where we did that? Just think about that. What kind of world would we have? I don't think we'd have people sleeping outdoors. I don't think we'd have people going to bed hungry. I don't think we would have our jails as full as they are if we had a different set of attitudes that come from changing your heart and your mind. And guess what? You don't need a federal grant or a 501c3 or anybody to do that. You can wake up in the morning and say, on this day, I'm turning a corner. I'm turning around. I'm going to act different. The next time I go out of my house, I'm going to be a little brighter light than I was the last time I went out. So I have this motto that I write about all the time. Can we just try to be a half a shade braver? A half a shade. You don't have to go change the world in the morning. You just got to get up with a little more energy, determined to make the light a little brighter. That doesn't sound too hard, does it? No, it's not actually. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. Because after a while, you just do it all the time. Because guess what? It becomes who you are. So let's take a good look at who we are, all of us, every day, and just try to be open to being a little better at doing that. For the young people, for the children, for all of you, I'm so glad to have been here with you for last night and today. When you go down to lunch, there'll be greeting cards there that some of you got last night because you were at the event. There were some left. I make those cards and give them away as a sign of my effort to be a little brighter light, a little more generous, to develop a practice of generosity. I want to be the kind of person I want to be like. You know who I want to be like? I want to be like Jesus Christ. That's who I want to be like. That's who I want to be like. I don't want to sleep outdoors like he did, but I want to be like him. I want to be loving and kind. I want people to be in my presence and feel better because they were. And that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to be somebody who people are glad to be around. So being generous helps that. So I make these cards out of I decorate them. I don't really make them. I take blank cards and decorate them with everything. You'll see there's all kinds of stuff: feathers, butterflies, dried fruit, dried flowers. Anything is fodder for my cannon, my creative cannon. And I love doing it. I would make them if nobody ever saw them because I love doing it. And it's wonderful to have that ability and to have the resources. But I wouldn't want to just make all these cards and stick them in a closet. So I've already made this year, I think about 350 cards that I've given away. And my goal at the beginning of the year was I'll make 1,000 cards. I think I'll make more at the rate I'm going, but it's okay. Also, I do like to shop a little bit. And so this way, I'm not just becoming a greedy consumer because I can buy my flowers and butterflies, but I'm going to give them away. So it helps me with, how many flowers do you want to get? I have to be careful with that. The point of all this is to say that generosity is a two-way street in terms of a gift. The gift you give from your heart that warms your heart and gives you great energy. The receiver receives that generosity as energy, and then you are better because something good happened to you, and then you will be better to the next person that you encounter because you feel better. You see how that whole system works? And it will mitigate against some of the meanness and the hatefulness and the bad spiritedness that's walking around on our planet right now. And each one of us can do something about that. Each one of us has the potential to do something about that. And so my card making is one tiny example of trying to say, this is something that I'm doing and it's my commitment. Now, you don't have to make cards, because you don't have to be like me. That's not the point of this talk. You have to be the best you that God could have imagined. You have to figure out what God is imagining for you and do that. So you may never make a card. You may never give somebody something you bought. You may just give more of yourself. You can smile more. You can be kinder when you meet people in the grocery store. You can get something off of a top shelf for somebody who can't reach it. That's an act of generosity. You can be patient enough to listen when somebody's trying to tell you something. If you're an adult, listen to children with a greater ear. If you're a child, be more patient with your little brother or your little sister. That's an act of generosity. There are all kinds of ways to be a good spiritual person. You're not trying to be holy. You're just trying to be a better light bearer. Doesn't that make sense? And it just, when you think about it and talk about it, we can do it. Now, some days you're grumpy and you don't want to be bothered with being generous. That's okay, because an angel will come and help you to get to the next step. I also want to tell you, on those days when you feel particularly grumpy, do something good for somebody. It'll make you feel better. Because part of grumpiness comes from egocentrism. The world's not right. My world's not right. I don't have what I want. People didn't treat me right. Somebody didn't say hello in the right way. What, blah, 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 right? We got a long list. And when you start turning around and looking for how you can be a better light, it's amazing how transformative that can be. On days when I get up with, I think I just really need a pity party today, I decide that I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a light for somebody. And my desire for a pity party goes away. Making my cards is one of those things, other things too. So if we could just get back to this little still point here. They tell me that if you get to the eye of a hurricane, that it's calm. So if we can get to the eye of the hurricane and sit and see, what can I do now? What can I do? How can I focus? I believe generosity, kindness, beauty, compassion, all of those things will save us. Not money, not power, because we've already had that and we just made a mess out of everything. So it's about time we try something different. Why don't we try? We got, all of us here have food and shelter and clothes and reasonable lives. And we still don't wake up every day saying, thank you, God. We wake up with our list. A lot of times, don't we? Wake up with our list of what we want different so we could be better. Let's wake up with our gratitude list. Let's work on that. Be generous toward ourselves and be generous toward God. Can you imagine what it's like for God to have to listen at us grumble so much? I mean, as parents, if your children just grumbled all the time, you would want to see what's wrong with them, right? And children, if your parents grumbled at you all the time, you wouldn't like it, would you? Do you think God likes us grumbling? I don't think so. Sometimes I say to myself, I'm really sorry. If my sons carried on like I'm carrying on, I'd be really upset with them. So let me get over it. So I really work at, yes, I have my walker. I have limitations. It's not easy for me to do stuff. I have to let people help me a lot. But guess what? I've got my legs. I've got a halfway decent mind. And I can do a lot. So I have nothing to say but thank you. Thank you. And thank all of you. There are not enough cards for everybody. There were 100 and something cards. Most of them were taken last night, but there are a few left. So whoever gets them, gets them. And then go for all of you, whether you get one or not. I hope you take away the intention to be a brighter light, to be a half a shade braver. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Meeks.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Christian Say. I am senior warden here at St. Paul's Episcopal Church. And on behalf of St. Paul's, on behalf of the Nathan Baxter chapter of the Union of Black Episcopalians, we want to give Dr. Meeks a token of our love and appreciation for her. So Dr. Meeks, please take this as our token of love and appreciation for you, for your time this weekend, and for your wisdom, for your generosity and spirit, and just for your great kindness. Thank you so much.